how do you then train your team, train the people working for you, train the person who's new into retail, train the person who's maybe socially awkward in various ways, and not have it just lose the genuineness through that expediency? Because I know that I've been in stores where, because I understand marketing and sales and all of that, where I know that they've been trained to walk up to the table or tell the person who walks in the door, hey, those are great shoes, or I love your dress. And sometimes people do it. I'm like, I think that's genuine. And then there's other times where I'm like, okay, she's been trained to say this because this is what, is done. And it loses its impact. I suppose there are some people who don't pick up on the nuances, but I think most of us in some way, even if we're not conscious of it, understand when someone's being genuine and someone's BSing us. So, I think that's an interesting challenge for the business owner who's bringing their team on board to help with communicating this, and not just have it be like, here are the 5 things you need to do.
You know what the answer is to that? So it's that the owner has to genuinely care about the employee's experience of what they're asking them to do. So here's how I would train this, is not have them, they're sitting with me and I'm telling them, here's how you do it. I would say, we're going to do this together. I'm going to go first, and then I'm going to ask you to follow up what I'm doing. And I'm going to be here the whole way. This is going to be about you. Yes, we're training to add value to the customer, but I want you to know I'm here watching this whole time, because I want to make sure this isn't just something we do for the customer. This is something we do for you, the employee, to have the best experience possible. So then I do it once. I'd say, okay, next customer, your turn, you do it. And when the customer came in and then they do the thing, I wouldn't give them feedback about how they performed as my first thing. The first thing I would do is say, tell me, what was that like for you? How did you feel while doing that? And if you make them feel safe and like they are first, they will go, I didn't really feel on. They'll tell you when they don't feel like they did it genuinely, because that doesn't feel good to do things that are disingenuous. It's a bad feeling for us.
I love that, Mayan, because that's going right back to the bringing emotional value, right? This is not just emotional value to your clients or customers. This is emotional value to everybody that you're interacting with in your, in your business in this case. But, the application for this is far and wide, because by all means, you could have the same approach when you're speaking to your husband or your wife or your
That's
kids.
Where I got most of these insights from, is from stuff I wanted to work through in my marriage, that to be honest, if it was just in my business, I wouldn't have felt motivated enough to go through all the hard work to find the right way to communicate where everyone's, collaborative and happy. But luckily, I love my husband very, very much, and I'll go through anything to build a happy relationship with him. And sometimes that means sitting with a situation where you don't see how both sides are going to walk away happy, and somehow figuring it out. And I think that's a great analogy for business. That's what business is like, and entrepreneurship is you don't see how you could possibly go get another job, because it's it would destroy your soul. But you also can't possibly see how to make this business work right now. But you're just going to sit and figure it out anyways. That's entrepreneurship.
100%. 100%. Is there anything you would like to share with our audience about freedom, travel, entrepreneurship, what you're doing in this world before we wrap up and I ask my final questions?
Yeah, I would say, really paint a clear picture of what it is you want your business to be doing for you. How does your business fit into your life? And when I say your life, I don't mean look at it from a third person perspective where you're there's my house, there's my car, there's my vacation time in, the Bahamas. Instead, look at your life from I'm waking up every day, and these are the things I'm doing on a daily basis, where when I imagine that, I'm that was such a good day. And that's the life you get to live. And then one, your business may or may not be necessary to achieve that. I think a lot of times entrepreneurs, they start a business and they put, everything into the business and they make the business everything, when in reality, they probably have tons of other resources, like personal relationships that could help them build the life that they're looking for. So really look at, what is the day-to-day life you want to be living, where you're going to be super happy? How is your business able to support that? And if there's something where your business, it can make this amount of money, but it's taking away from that vision in this other aspect, you really need to look at that, because a lot of entrepreneurs get to this point where they make a certain amount of money and they're miserable. And it's because they actually gave up the thing they really wanted to build. Or, they had to sacrifice something that they really weren't willing to sacrifice. And so think about, how can the business add to my life vision? And don't think, oh, well, I have to sacrifice this to get this. If your business, if you're like, well, I have to take away in this aspect, find another solution for filling that need in your life. Keep your business focused on what your business is good at in terms of how it fits in with your life, because then you'll never self-sabotage it. And that's a very real thing too. If you build something, but you don't like the way that you build it, or it didn't feel good, or it doesn't feel good to, be in the tower that you built, you'll tear it down. So make sure you're building it in a way that feels good to you.